welcome back to my channel. This is part 2 of surviving college auditions. This video is about Chicago Unifieds. If you have not watched my pre-screen video, make sure you watch that. Let's get into it. Juniors, Unifieds is not as scary as you think it is unless you make it scary. As long as you're prepared and you have a good warm-up ritual to like calm yourself down, that's what really helped me, because I thought going into Chicago Unifieds I was gonna be like a nervous wreck, and I was gonna be like, oh my god, there's so many talented people, I don't belong here, even though I kind of felt that sometimes. You have to find a way to calm yourself down so that you can do your best work in the room, because that's what really matters. You're not there to impress anybody. You're there to show yourself. Show yourself. I better not get copyrighted for that. Show who you are, let your talent shine through, because you're here for a reason. First thing, when you get to the Palmer House, there's a list usually of like all of the schools and like what room and what floor and what room number they'll be in. Even if you don't get a piece of paper of this list, take a picture of it so you have it at all times, because the Palmer House it can be confusing. Like, I remember I was trying to find an audition and I would go down a hallway and then there's like more hallways. The hallways, they're like all connected. It's like a weird snake type thing. Just follow the signs. That'll really help you. Second thing, you will be able to hear everyone when you audition. So when you're waiting outside your audition room, you will hear everyone. The walls are thin. If that is something that makes you nervous or distracts you, I recommend listening to music, getting headphones. Third thing, you will be dancing on carpet, so make the best of it. I'm not a dancer, and dancing on carpet did not help me, but they definitely understand that you're dancing on carpet, but it's not fun. 4, be nice to everyone you see, because you will see them again, like multiple times. Like, I saw the same people in like 4 or 5 auditions, even ones that weren't even at Unifieds. Even on campus auditions, I would recognize them from an audition like a month ago, So be nice to everyone. You don't have to talk to everyone. Be nice. Get to your auditions like 10 minutes early, because you can see if you can move your audition slot up, or if you want to move it later, so you can have like a break time or anything. That was great, because a lot of schools are really flexible. This will mostly apply to walk-in schools, which I will get into later, because like the more popular schools, everyone's auditioning for them, so it'll be harder to move your slot. Definitely recommend to get there early to see if you can move up, or if you want to move it later, just ask. They will most likely be flexible with you. Next thing, do walk-ins. I recommend walk-ins, especially the first day. That's what I did. I didn't really have, did I have any auditions the first day, Unifieds? I didn't really have any auditions the first day I got to Unifieds, so I did walk-ins, which really helped me calm my nerves down, because if you're like auditioning for schools that you, oh my god, if you're auditioning for schools that you don't really care about, as bad as that sounds, the pressure is taken off, and so then you get used to what it's like being in the room, and then you feel more comfortable and you feel better about the auditions that you, for like your top schools. What my mom did was she went around the first day and went up to a bunch of booths to see if they had walk-ins, and she would sign me up, and then she would tell me where the school was, like their audition room, their floor, so that when the time for my walk-in came, I could just go. Another thing about walk-ins. Walk-ins are not the most organized thing. I missed many portions of my walk-in. Like, so for some schools, I would have only done my singing call, and then I wouldn't have done like a dance call because it conflicted with something else. A lot of times they're relying on paper, so they don't really keep track of like, who didn't do what really. They don't really like care that much, because they're like, yo, you're just walking. I recommend doing walk-ins, but, you know, don't expect too much. I haven't heard from, like, any of this, like, I heard back from 2 schools that I walked into, but all of the other ones, and I did several, I haven't heard anything. Don't let other people distract you. It's okay to socialize, but if you know that'll make you nervous or distract you, you know, don't do that. Like, this is about, you know, of course it's good to like talk to other people, you know, because some of these people might be your classmates, but at the end of the day, you are trying to do your best work. So you know yourself, so make sure that you take care of yourself and do what's best for you. If you're not strong in a certain area, put your best foot forward and stay positive. As I said, I'm not a dancer, I'm a mover. So dancing on carpet was not fun, and it did not help me at all. But through like all of the dance auditions, they all just emphasize to act the dance, you know, stay positive, and if you mess up, don't let it get to you. That's something I definitely need to work on, and they'll see that you won't quit and that you're persevering through, you know, tough things. And if you need help in the dance call, ask. They will answer questions. Don't think you're wasting their time. They want you to be engaged, and it'll help you in the long run. And other people might have the same question and they don't want to ask, and you might be helping out other people too. Because I definitely was one of those people who didn't want to ask in a dance call, and then someone else would ask exactly what I was thinking, and I'd be like, thank you. You got my back there. Ask questions if you need help. If you can, find some time to chill out. I know one of the days at Unifieds I had an audition back to back, so I was like tired and I didn't want to do anything. So if possible, find time to chill out. That will definitely help, and then you can reflect on your auditions and, you know, get prepared for the next ones. It will be hard to find places to sit, especially if you don't get to an audition early, because there's not a lot of seating available in the Palmer House. There is, on the main lobby, there's like a restaurant slash bar area where a lot of people were sitting, but you really can't find a place to sit unless you like stalk someone and like you are like watching and waiting for people to leave. So you will be sitting on the floor a lot of the time, so be prepared for that. It's not the most comfortable thing, but it is what it is.
It is what it is. It is what it is.
You will have to, if you stay at the Palmer House, you will have to warm up in your hotel room, and you will be able to hear other people warming up because the walls are thin. Don't be discouraged. Just do it. Like, literally, most of the people staying at the Palmer House that weekend are musical theater people, so like they understand. There's probably like a few people that, actually there were a few people that were staying and they didn't know what was going on, and they like asked people about it. But most people, like, they get it, and like even the workers, like, they know. So don't be discouraged. But if that like freaks you out, I don't recommend staying in the Palmer House. I recommend staying at a different hotel if you're not from Chicago. I luckily am, but I decided to stay at the Palmer House because I didn't want to have to lug stuff back and forth. But I will get into the ups and downs of staying in the Palmer House later. There are a lot of places near the Palmer House that can help you out if you have left something at home. You know, like let's say you forgot a leotard, God forbid. There's like a Target. There's also a dance store that's really close by. It is a part of Roosevelt. I recommend checking out like the area and seeing where like the closest convenience stores are in case you need like medicine or anything. In the Palmer House, there's a Starbucks and there's a Freshie. It is very hard to eat at Freshie in during Unifieds because everyone's going to Freshie. So if you haven't heard of Freshie, it's basically like it's honestly really overpriced. Healthy food. It's good. It's just like expensive. I mean, everyone knows Starbucks. So there's a lot of restaurants nearby, and especially getting Starbucks in the morning is like impossible. There's actually like another Starbucks very close to the Palmer House, and me and my mom actually we walked there. And if you I don't remember the exact location, but if you look up the Palmer House and like look at Starbucks, there's one inside and there's one right next to it. I recommend if you want Starbucks in the morning, go there, or you can make tea in your room, you know, anything do what's best for you. Here's some upsides to staying in the here are some upsides to staying in the Palmer House. If you, for example, one of the reasons I stayed was because I didn't want to have to, you know, I mean, I live in Illinois, but I would have to wake up early. I personally am not a morning person, so I wanted to, um, you know, be in the Palmer House so that I didn't have to wake up super early, be tired and me. My like warm up ritual is important, as I mentioned in my earlier. I didn't want to wake up like super early and then like kind of rush out the house and like do my hair and everything and then forget to warm up or something. I get there and then there's like I said, there's no places to warm up in the Palmer House. You have to warm up in your room, or if you are coming from home, you have to do it at home. I didn't mind warming up in the Palmer House. It was fine for me. So just think about that. Another advantage of staying in the Palmer House is that for a lot of auditions I would have to like rush to the next one, or I would have to like right after a singing audition I would have a dance call. So the good thing about being in the Palmer House is that I could, if I needed to, I could run up to my room and get something. Like if I leave something at home, you know, I can't go back home. It was nice to have everything packed so I know that everything was in my room, and I would pack dance clothes in my bag so that I would have them in case I needed to change. Always bring stuff with you into the rooms, like especially for singing and acting calls. The panel doesn't care if you bring in your bag because it's better you bring it with you everywhere than it gets stolen. So bring your stuff with you at all times. Now for dance calls, it's a little bit different because a lot of the rooms that you're dancing in are really small, and that was something that kind of was hard because you'd be dancing with like 20 people and like everyone was crammed together, so it was really hard. They don't like you bringing in bags to dance calls, so if your parent or guardian could hold your bag, you know, like take what you need, like your shoes and everything, and they hold your bag with everything else, and then they take it with them, and then when you're done, you know, you get your stuff back. That's better than leaving it outside where no one's watching and someone could go through your bag and like steal something. Keep track of everything. Also, for walk-ins, you most likely won't be able to walk into the like popular schools. Those are like University of Michigan, Pace, Carnegie Mellon, Texas State, University of Cincinnati. There's many more. So make sure you double check if you want to audition at those top schools. You have most likely you'd have to pass the pre-screen. If you don't, you can't audition because they don't have time for that. This is important. When you're on the elevators, be careful what you say. You might run into somebody who is a part of the freaking a school, like a teacher, a faculty member at a school, you know? Because like me and my mom, we were on the elevator, and I haven't said anything on the elevator because like this is something that's important to me. You're on the elevator, and you're talking, and this nice lady said hi to us, and she said that she was an acting faculty at University of Cincinnati, and I told her that I was auditioning there, and she was like, oh, good luck. So like you never know who anyone is on the elevator. Something similar like that happened to me a second time, and I was by myself. There was like another faculty member for a school, and you know, we talked for a little bit. So be careful what you say. And this doesn't just apply to college auditions, this applies to every audition. Don't say anything about the people, the school, until you are for sure that you're alone, because you don't know who anybody is. A lot of people come up with like secret codes and stuff. What I do is I have an audition journal, so like when I'm done with an audition, I'll like write about it so I don't forget, and I'll like tell my mom later when we're alone. Even if you're in your room, be careful. Don't talk loud because the walls are thin. So, you never know who's in the room next to you. Another thing about the elevators is leave your room early because the elevators do get busy. Luckily, me and my mom were on the top floor, so we didn't have to deal with like waiting long. Sometimes it would take a while for the elevators to come, and you don't want to be late to your audition because of the elevators, and everyone's using them. In the audition room, be prepared to be asked questions by the panel. Have prepared answers. They will usually ask like, why did you apply to this school? So make sure you have an answer for that. What I did was, for all the schools I applied to, I wrote down on note cards like why I wanted to go to this school, and even for my walk-ins, I researched them a little bit so that I could know a little bit about the school before I got in. And along with that is to be prepared to sing or something else or do a monologue. So make sure you have your extra material prepared. They will read your resume, so do not lie on it. During one of my auditions, I can't remember what it was. Carnegie Mellon. I sang my song, and they basically, the panel, one of the members of the panel, I believe he's a faculty member, he looked at my resume and he recognized somebody who I worked with on my resume, and he asked me about it. I recommend in your room that you have a steamer or humidifier to keep yourself hydrated. Also, vitamins are important. Getting your flu shot, and if you're traveling, you could wear a mask on the plane to protect yourself if you want. The last thing is that on Thursday, one of the last days of Unifieds, it was literally all the schools are gone. The Palmer House didn't even look the same. Like, everyone was gone. Everyone pretty much leaves Wednesday. I had one audition on Thursday, but most of the schools are gone. That is my little survival guide to surviving Unifieds. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and if you have any questions, leave them below. And I wish everyone luck with this college process. I know it can be tough, but you guys got this. So to all the juniors, I wish you guys luck. Stay safe and be prepared, and you guys got this. All right, bye.